Saturday is International Women's Day, and we're shining a spotlight on women in industries where they remain underrepresented. WYFR's Maggie Polsine sat down with leaders at Eitner International to learn how they are working to get more women in manufacturing.
Eitner is a leading manufacturer of paving equipment in the road building industry, but it also wants to be a leading manufacturer for a different type of skilled laborer.
It is a welcoming environment for women.
The company is driving a powerful initiative to increase the number of females in manufacturing and ensure more have the opportunity to thrive in the industry.
Manufacturing traditionally has been a male-dominated industry, but we will train you. We also have other training programs if you want to go to community college, take certifications in skilled trades.
The numbers tell a story of progress. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, women in manufacturing tend to fare well. On average, they earn 16% more than the national median income for women across all industries. And while women only hold 25% of management positions, they're increasingly moving into leadership roles.
So it's not all about building heavy products. It's actually about working with different sets of people and getting the work done as well. So I think there's a huge role that women can play in manufacturing.
I put myself out there, I tried it, loved it. I do feel like I've gained so many skills, and I never would have got that opportunity, I don't feel like, if I would not have pursued a career in manufacturing.
Mindy Graff has been with Eitner for 7 years, starting as a part-time overnight guard to now being a production planner for one of the highest flowing products in the company. Along the way, she also got her welding certification and says that becoming a skilled laborer changed her life.
Seeking out roles in manufacturing can be very intimidating, but don't let fear stop you from finding your career. The women who are here now are laying the groundwork for all the women to come. And I think as long as we continue to support each other, we're laying great foundation for that.
Paving the way forward for the growth and success of women in every sector. In Ogle County, Maggie Polsine, WYFR News.
Women make up 47% of the overall workforce in the United States, but only 30% work in manufacturing at Eitner. Women make up 16% of their skilled laborers.